This Barricade rear adventure door is for those of you that have a 2007 to 2018 four-door JK. Of course, it has to be a four-door or you wouldn't have a need for a rear adventure door. And it's for those of you that are looking for a safari-style adventure door. Maybe you like the idea of not having doors on your Jeep, but you have pets or kids, so you want a little bit of that security, but still that open-air driving experience. Maybe you just like the look that a tube door provides. Or maybe you do a lot of off-roading and you like the ability to be able to lean out of the door, see your line, and you want both the back doors and the front doors to match. For whatever reason you're looking for, this is going to be a pretty nice tube door option for you. These are of course going to install very easily onto your Jeep, a 1 out of 3 wrench install, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. So when you're looking at tube doors, you're going to find a couple of different options, and they are going to pretty drastically change the price of the door. So what you're going to be looking at is adjustability for fitment. Here you can see that the hinge pins that go into those factory door hinges, those are going to be welded in place. There's no adjustment there. On the latch side here, there's a little bit of adjustment built into these. These have a little bit of a slotted hole, so you can make some adjustment there, and that'll help to get everything lined up. Some of the more expensive options, again, they're also going to have adjustment on this side. Some of the other things that you're going to look at is the latch mechanism. This is designed to catch right on that factory striker on the Jeep tub, as with most of the other ones. But this is a little bit more of a simple latch mechanism. This is also not going to be a locking latch mechanism. Now, you might be saying to yourself, why do I need this thing to lock? If somebody wants to get into my Jeep, it's a tube door, they're gonna get in anyway. Well, the lock isn't really there to keep people out, it's there to keep your doors from walking away when you leave your Jeep. So with a tube door, you can very easily open it, just lift it off the hinges and walk away. Even if you have the nuts in place, it's pretty simple to spin those off. If you have a lock, as long as the door is closed and locked, you can't easily open it and pop it off the hinges. So that's what those locks are there for. So again, this option is not going to have that lock. This is also going to be a fairly simple design as far as the bars going across the center of it. So all of the things that I just mentioned are ways that they're able to keep the cost of these tube doors down a little bit. These are going to be a little bit less expensive than some of the other options. If you are looking for one that has adjustability here and at the latch, maybe a beefier, more robust latch, a locking latch, maybe a door that has a little bit of additional style to it, some plating, some this, some that, whatever it might be, those options are out there, but they're most likely going to be a little bit more expensive. This is going to be a more budget-friendly option that's still going to get the job done for you. So these doors are 1¼ inch round tube. There is a little bit of plate steel here as well. Everything's going to be covered in a textured black powder coat finish. You do have plastic caps on the end of the tubes here, and up here to keep junk out. Some of the other options may have welded metal caps. With the plastic, it allows things to breathe a little bit, and there's really nothing wrong with it as an option. So overall, I do think that these are going to be a pretty well-built door. They're going to do exactly what you want them to do, and they're also going to be a little bit less expensive than some of the other choices that you can find. The Barricade Adventure doors come in at $300 a pair, so today we're talking about the rear doors. These are $300. Most likely you're not going to be installing these by themselves. You're also going to have the front set for another $300. I've said a couple times now throughout this video that I like these because they're a little bit more budget friendly than some of the other options, while still giving you everything you need to have a good functional tube door. And that's absolutely true. These are going to be a little bit less pricey than some of the options that have more features, more bells and whistles, but they're still going to do the job for you. Now I'll have a member of the install team show you how you get this installed on your Jeep.
We're going to begin the installation of our Barricade Adventure tube doors for the rear of our JK Jeep Wrangler by removing our factory door. Go ahead, begin. We're going to lower our windows down. Now the reason we lower our window down before we take our doors off is this way we don't have our glass up. Now when we're storing our doors, if anything were to fall up against them or the door was to fall over, we don't run the risk of our window being shattered. The window's down, being protected inside the door in the window tracks. This will also keep the window nice and sturdy. It won't rattle around when moving them. Now next for our removal of our door, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect our wiring harness and our safety strap, and then we're just gonna go ahead and lift our doors out. If your doors are still equipped With the locks on the bottom of them, you're gonna wanna go ahead and use your T50 Torx bit and go ahead and remove those. Ours are already removed. I'm sorry I can't show you how that's done, but if your door does still have them, it's just a T50 Torx and go ahead and remove them. Now for our next step, we're gonna go ahead and remove this interior cover. This will gain us access to the plug to remove our doors. Now as you can see, once that's removed, the plug is right here. We're gonna go ahead, get that unplugged. Then behind the plug, you'll see the small hook that our safety strap is latched to. You're gonna just go ahead and lift the strap up off of that hook. Pull your strap and your harness out. Now we can go ahead and lift our door off. Now you wanna remember this is the same for both sides. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and just lift our doors off. Hold it firmly and just lift straight up. And now your door's removed. You want to make sure you store this in a nice safe area and no damage will come of it. Okay, now we're ready to get our new Barricade tube doors installed. Now to do this, you're just gonna remove your nut and your washer off the bottom of your door pins, and we're just gonna go ahead and slide them down over our factory hinges. Then go ahead and just replace your hardware and snug them up. Now you don't want to make these too tight because you don't want to hinder your door from opening, but we're just going to go ahead and install them loosely for now. Okay, now that we have those loosely installed, we're going to go ahead and work on our latch system. Now our latch system is very easy. It's only 2 bolts, slight adjustment in it, but they're very simple. Here's our new latch that comes with our system. We're gonna go ahead and use the supplied hardware. Now when installing your latch, you wanna make sure you have your bolts from your mechanisms facing towards the inside of your Jeep. Just take your hardware and secure it in place. Don't forget to use your lock washers when installing these. Okay, now that they're loosely installed, we're gonna go ahead and get them adjusted where they need to be before we tighten them. Now to do the adjustment, it's very simple. You wanna go ahead and just slowly close your door and slide your mechanism up and down until it easily latches. I'd say that looks pretty good right there. Let's go ahead and get these snugged up. Now with the use of 2 13mm, a wrench and a socket, we're gonna go ahead and get these tightened up. Now that our latch is tightened up, our doors close with ease. And they stay closed. Just pull back on the latch and they open up. Now remember, when you go to the other side, it's the same exact process. You're gonna line your latch and everything the same exact way. Now that our latches are installed, we can go ahead and tighten up our hinge pins. Now we don't want to make these too tight, we want to leave them slightly loose. This way we can get our door to open and close, but we don't want them too loose that they rattle off. Now using your same 13mm socket or wrench, go ahead and snug them up. Another thing you're going to want to remember is when you install your doors to go ahead and put a little bit of grease, white lithium grease, a little bit of bearing grease, just a little bit on your pins. This way you don't run the risk of them gauing up or sticking when you're closing your door. Doing this may result in damage to your new tube doors or your vehicle. Another thing I can't stress enough is just be safe when doing this installation. Be safe with your tools against the paint of your Jeep and yourself. You don't want to pinch your fingers or hurt yourself in any way. Next, we're going to go ahead and get our safety strap installed. Now, using a Phillips head screwdriver, we're going to go ahead and disconnect our strap loop on our new tube doors to install our new safety straps that came with the kit. I'm only going to loosen this bottom one up a little bit. Swing this out. Take our new safety strap, slide it down over it, and then retighten up our screws. Next, we're going to go ahead and pass our new safety strap through our opening. And down onto the hook, our factory safety strap hook. And there you have it. Now remember, go ahead and put your cover back on. And you're all set. Now remember, all these processes are exactly the same for the other side. Now you may notice that with these, your straps only go so far. Well, they're still new. If you give them a little time, they will stretch out. Now that concludes the installation of our Barricade tube adventure doors. For more parts and videos like these, make sure you come and visit us at ExtremeTerrain.com.